There is a moment in every difficult season when motivation gets quiet. The excitement that helped you begin is gone. The praise has faded. The results are not loud enough yet to keep you entertained. And suddenly, the question becomes simple. Can you keep faith with the person you said you wanted to become, even when nobody is clapping? That is where real growth starts. Not in the announcement, not in the perfect plan, not in the day when everything feels easy. Growth begins in the unseen part, where you choose the right action without needing a reward first. You do the session. You open the book. You send the application. You clean the room. You save the money. You apologize. You try again. Not because it is glamorous, but because it is aligned. Most people lose momentum because they treat every promise like a mood. If they feel confident, they move. If they feel tired, they stop. If the day is messy, they lower the standard. But a life built on moods becomes unstable because moods change quickly. You can wake up inspired and go to sleep discouraged. You can feel powerful at noon and doubtful by evening. If every action waits for the perfect feeling, your future will always be delayed. So here is a better path. Act from identity, not emotion. Ask yourself, what would the disciplined version of me do next? Not what would the perfect version do. Not what would the fearless version do. Just the disciplined version. The version who is still human, still tired sometimes, still unsure sometimes, but honest enough to take the next useful step. Because discipline is not about becoming a machine. It is about becoming dependable. It is the quiet strength of knowing you can count on yourself when life gets inconvenient. Think about physical training. You do not build strength by lifting only when the gym is empty, the music is perfect, and your energy is high. You build strength by showing up with respect for the process. Some days you lift more, some days you lift less. Some days the victory is simply completing the warm-up and keeping the promise. But every honest session sends a message. I am not controlled by discomfort. I can work through resistance. That message matters because your mind is always listening to your actions. Every time you say, I will do this, and then you do it, you increase self-trust. Every time you abandon yourself for a temporary excuse, you weaken it. This is not about shame, it is about awareness. You cannot build confidence by only thinking confident thoughts. Confidence grows when your behavior gives you evidence. Evidence is powerful. If you are learning a skill, one focused hour today may not make you brilliant, but it proves that you are the kind of person who practices. If you are recovering from a setback, one calm decision today may not fix everything, but it proves that you are not giving the setback full control. If you are changing your habits, one better choice today may not transform your life overnight, but it proves that the old pattern is no longer your only option. That is how change becomes real, not through dramatic reinvention, but through repeated proof. And yes, there will be resistance. The mind will negotiate. It will say, start tomorrow. It will say, you have already wasted the day. It will say, this little action does not matter. Be careful with that voice. It often sounds reasonable while leading you back to the same place. The action may be small, but the meaning is not. A small step taken with intention can interrupt a long cycle of avoidance. You do not need to win the entire week tonight. You need to win the next honest moment. If your space is chaotic, clear one surface. If your body feels heavy, take a walk. If your goal feels too large, work for 20 focused minutes. If your confidence is low, complete one task you have been delaying. If your mind is crowded, write down the next 3 actions and choose the first one. Do not wait until everything feels manageable. Make one thing manageable and let that become your entry point. Progress loves entry points. The doorway is rarely impressive. It is often boring. It looks like a timer, a notebook, a pair of shoes, a difficult conversation, a glass of water, a closed app, an early night, or one more attempt after an embarrassing failure. But behind ordinary actions, your character is being shaped. You are teaching yourself what matters. You are proving that your future is not just a wish. It is a responsibility. Healthy ambition is not about hating where you are. It is about respecting who you could become enough to stop drifting. You can be grateful and still hungry. You can accept yourself and still improve. You can be proud of how far you have come and still admit that the next level requires a better standard. That standard does not have to be loud. In fact, the strongest people often change quietly. They stop explaining so much. They stop chasing approval for every decision. They stop making promises in public that they have not honored in private. They return to the basics and let consistency speak. Sleep, train, study, work, reflect, repair, repeat. Not perfectly, consistently. And when you fall off, do not turn one missed day into a lost identity. Recovery is part of discipline. A strong person is not someone who never slips. A strong person is someone who returns faster. They do not spend a week punishing themselves for a mistake. They take the lesson, reset the line, and move. That is self-respect. Self-respect is not only saying no to people who drain you, it is also saying no to the version of yourself that keeps choosing comfort over commitment. It is telling yourself the truth without cruelty. It is refusing to betray your own potential for a short escape that leaves you emptier than before. Today, choose one promise that matters. Make it clear. Make it small enough to do, but meaningful enough to count. Then complete it before the day ends. Do not make a ceremony out of it. Do not wait for permission. Just do it and let the proof land inside you. Tomorrow, repeat. That is how you become steady. That is how you build confidence that does not collapse when life becomes difficult. That is how you create a foundation no bad mood can easily destroy. Your future does not need a louder announcement. It needs a stronger agreement between your words and your actions. So take the next step with calm intensity. Do the work in front of you. Protect your attention. Keep your standard when it would be easier to drift. And remember this: every time you follow through, you are voting for the person you are becoming. Make that vote count today.